But one of the things that we do that's really different than a lot of other check-in services and location services is we've kind of made life into a game a little bit. So when you check into places, you earn points for checking in. And you get points for going to new places, for meeting new people, for having new experiences. We also do these things called mayorships, right? So if you've been to a place more than anyone else, you become the mayor. And if you do something, like a bunch of things that are different and interesting, you kind of unlock badges for things. So have you guys done badges, or has anyone unlocked badges here? Right, a couple. So you guys know what I'm talking about. And you know, occasionally people will check in, they'll surface tips that other users are leaving behind, and sometimes we get brands leaving them too. Here's one I found at the airport in the Los Angeles airport, letting me know about a secret security line that's much shorter than all the other ones. And like, these tips are everywhere in the world. We see them all over New York. I'm seeing them in Barcelona, and they pop up giving you a little insider information about what's going on. Here are some of the badges. The badges we're kind of infamous for. You know, like some of these ones, like school night you get for staying out late with your friends, like on a, if you're checking in at 3 in the morning. The photogenic one you get for going to places with photo booths, right? The bender one you get for going out late nights, lots of nights in a row. So they're kind of like fun little playful ways of rewards, which for a lot of people seems a lot like, Boy Scout merit badges, right? And there's a general need to collect these things. So in a certain sense, I think like we're almost like making Pokemon for adults. It's like experience, you go out, you kind of collect these things, you share these experiences with your friends, and it's pushing you to kind of do new things. Does anyone know what this badge is? You can yell it out. Yeah, the gym rat badge. I don't have this one. You get this one for going to the gym 10 times a month. And it's hard to get, but we've done this experiment where we prescribe things we want people to do, and they'll start to go out and do them. Like you make a badge about going to the gym, about going to museums, about going to playgrounds, and people will go out of their way and to start doing some of this stuff. So it's this really powerful experience of like, can software actually change the way that people experience the world and drive people to go out and have new and different types of experiences? And we're seeing this with everything. Like we made a pizza badge that you can only get for going to 20 different pizza locations, and people will organize crawls and go out and do these things, right? So it's like changing people's behavior and getting people to act in different ways based upon some of the game mechanics that we developed. And we've done this, like we made one for shouting out happy birthday messages, for getting a bunch of different people together. And it's like we're starting to explore all these different mechanics that we can use to really change people's real-world behavior. And we've started doing it with partners. Like we made one that you could only get by running the New York City Marathon using the Runkeeper app. So you start the app, and they have a running app for GPS tracking. And if you ran the 26.2 miles, that was the only way to unlock it. So it goes beyond just bars and museums and clubs, but we're starting to get into like, how do you reward people for actually doing and accomplishing physical things in the real world? And it's a lot of what the FourSquare platform is starting to be about, rewarding folks. So this year was a big year for FourSquare. Well, last year was a big year. We took this picture, I think, in December of 2009, right at the beginning of 2010, and there was 3 of us working on the product. And now we're a team of 50 or so. One of the things that that people think about FourSquare, we've had this stereotype like, oh, it's just a check-in app, and it's kind of a check-in game, and it's just people in, it's hipsters in New York and San Francisco using this. But we've been running the numbers, and it's like there's check-ins all over the world, and it's not just bars and nightlife. It's everything. It's museums, it's coffee shops, it's conferences, it's concerts, and we're getting check-ins from all types of people all over the world. The most basic, the stats now, like we went from, with last year about, we started off with 100,000 users in January, and we finished up with about 6.5 million users. We're seeing, we've got about 420 million check-ins in the system, and we see about 2 million of them per day. So there's a lot of people that are participating in the system, and it's been growing very quickly. Overall growth for us last year was about 3,400%. So it's crazy, and I'm assuming it's going to get crazier. So if you drill into some of these numbers, we look at like what the penetration in Europe looks like, and again, it's a lot like the U.S. Like it centers a lot in big metropolitan areas, but it kind of reaches out to any areas of dense population. And again, we're seeing check-ins really all over, all over the world, all over different continents. If you look at Japan, kind of the same thing. So one of the big reasons that we came to Mobile World Congress, one of the big announcements we have today is that we finally went through the process of translating FourSquare into different languages. So today, on iPhone and BlackBerry and on Android, we've got 5 new languages. So there's 6 total: English, Spanish, French, German, Italian, and Japanese. So this is out today, and we're very excited about this because one of our biggest challenges is like, how does a small 50-person startup go and influence and kind of affect the behavior all throughout the world? And we're seeing this is a big step for a lot of the things that we're trying to do.